Hopefully no more far out. Error messages, error messages, error messages. Hello everyone, Michael Mechanical here. I got some good news, I got some bad news. The good news, bad news is the fact that there is now a Pajero where the white MH Triton once lay sat. The bad news is it's gone permanently, it's not coming back. It finally went. But yeah, that's pretty much the good and bad news in one shell. We now have a Tartar and black Triton, and we still have a rim for this, but we also have the spare rim Sapphire from the other car. The guy who took away the MH Triton, he knows that that's on my car, and I told him, because he asked me, oh, is there any parts you want off of this? And I said, well, I'd like the rims back, and I showed him the scenario with this car where it has this wear. I said they are the original rims for this car, they came with the car, but I couldn't afford tyres for it, so I put tyres on those, and I'm having little issues with them. So it's not really majorly an issue. However, there is a major issue with this car. The head gaskets decided to not seal very well anymore, and so we've done a few things. One, we've put a silver sealer in here, and hopefully that was going to fix the problem, which it didn't. And now it's got some nylon Kevlar stuff, and it was $20 for the bottle. And if you're wondering why the door's missing, that's because I do the courier work stuff and I had a sensitive run that I had to do. So this bottle was actually already open. Engine, radiator, stop leak. So it's got this in it, and it's got Kevlar in it. And that's what's in the engine right now. Hopefully it sealed the cap. We're going to be retorquing the head down, and I might end up going for a trip in the car today for an hour, 2 hours, just to see if I can find out if the system's going to keep cool or not. That's after retorquing it. So, I've got other bad news. The fact is, I tried to reach a milestone financially, I almost made it, and then I had a few issues, too many issues to count. Number one was the fact that this car's head gasket was going cuckoo again, so we'd been given information. We got told retorque the head, and so we're going to be retorquing that soon. Next bit of bad news is the fact that I had to get another phone. Now the reason for this is because my other phone's touchscreen on very short notice decided to not work properly. Now this meant that I wasn't touching the screen and it was touching itself, so they say it was a software issue. I reckon it was hardware. I don't know for certain. So I had to get something on short notice. So I decided, instead of getting something I need, rather than getting another phone that's pretty much the same, I decided, you know, I'm going to get something I want. And I ended up getting something with the Nougat 7.0 Android. And this allows me, in my own time with my own stuff that I do, to work on AR. AR is something that I could use to potentially plan out anything I want, from like a shed to, you know, all these weird things that I could do with AR, which would be really, really cool. So, on the terms of phone, I'm not actually paying much. I've only paid $100, and I'm going to be paying $75 a month just to keep this phone, to have this phone, and the plan that I have. I've also lost my 15 gigs plan. I'm on 5 gigs now, and I currently have 20 gigs left because they added the plan onto this plan, and that's how this is working. So it's all very stressful. One of my phones decided its credit was going to run out without usage, and I'm like, what the hell? And so that really got annoying. So on top of my phone credits running out, I have a head gasket gone bang, and that was the one that I replaced, and I have to get a new phone, so I have this new phone now. Hopefully this recording quality is better than my camera, but I'm not going to be using it to make recordings, and there's reasons for that. For one, this is a very expensive phone for me. It's about $680. They tried to upsell me to getting something that was $1,000, but my rule of thumb was, if I can't buy it outright now, I'm not going to consider it. And so when he said $1,000, I thought to myself, well, if I lose my job because they won't keep me, how am I going to keep working? How am I going to be able to afford the plan? How am I going to be able to afford the phone? So I said, it has to be something I can buy outright today or tomorrow, should something go wrong. And so that plan's been dealt with. over 24 months, I've got to pay something along the lines of $1,000 or something. I've already put $100 towards this phone, so that knocks a couple of months off, I guess. But I'm going to try and pay this phone back quicker. When I get some spare disposable income, I might try to put $100 towards here and there, just so it's sort of paid off in some ways. But I also want to keep some money on hand, so it's not like, oh, I'm just going to put all my money into the phone and buy it and stuff. I'm going to be putting money towards the engine rebuild on the engine, because I want to put new liners in there, pistons and everything, just to make sure that it's not going to fail me in the long run. But I don't think I have to worry about that for a year at least. So I'll be safe for 1 year without having to touch that stuff. Head gasket, however, that's a different story. If it goes again, then I'll have to do the head gasket as soon as possible. But I was thinking, if I can make it last to the point where I can rebuild the engine, I'm okay with that. I'm just trying to think of what else is there to talk about, other than the fact that the Triton is gone. That car's there still. Yeah, yesterday went up Mountain Barker Road, I think it was, doing a trip, and my car was just getting way too hot, and I tried to slow down and be gentle on it, but it was still getting too hot. I noticed that when my car was at 4 psi, it was okay temperature-wise, but as soon as it went and shot up to like 11 or above 4, it just started cooking really bad. The reason for this was there's bypass from the combustion chamber when it's running into the coolant galleries, and so the coolant galleries are filling up with air and pushing all the water out of the system into the overflow bottle, causing a lot of issues and chaos, so that wasn't really good. I got a bunch of stuff I got to do today. Kind of don't feel like doing anything at all, and you know, it's depressing to not want to do anything, but I'm gonna go into town today, hang out with a friend and do some stuff. But I don't make videos much anymore because this is a full-time business diploma, 1. Number 2, I'm also working, and there isn't really much time for me to even work on my own car, so it's like I got problems to deal with. Also, I need to try and find a way to be a bit more financially sustainable. This isn't really a sustainable job long term. It's just going to help me get by for now. And when things go really bad with my car, then I'm in trouble, because then I got to fix the car before I can work. And that's a risk reward. It's time and money, and you're losing it. With every second that car doesn't run, you're losing money. So pretty much that's what I'm going to say for the end of the video. I'm going to try this, see how this goes on the internet. I can't promise I'm going to make many videos, but I can say that looking at the analytics for my videos, I have sort of found a bit of a trend, which is actually what we've been doing research into at school with the business stuff. And so because I've got a bit of a trend there, I know where I can sort of poke a stick at and work to grow the channel. And it's interesting that you have to look for those data trends, and I've got that data trend right now that I've been looking at. The thing is, I have to make my videos way better than they are in order to get the most out of that trend, so people can understand. It's quite interesting. I sound like a jerk probably, but it's what we're getting taught. So when you find a data trend, take advantage of it. So I'm going to leave it at this. Dad's car's right here. I've got to go to the shops. I've got to wait for Dad so then we can go and do some things. But 3 minutes idle. We're going to tighten them 1/4 of a turn each of the head bolts, and that should solve the problem. We've already got some tools out, and we've also got the old coolant in here. There's also a bit of rust in there. I cleaned the system out. You can see the rust at the bottom. I cleaned the system out with alkaline, but that didn't really do too good. So the reason this water is so dark is that's not meant to be the color. It's meant to be lighter than that. It's because of all the bypass, and that's what happens when you have a bypass from, like, blow-by from the combustion chamber into the coolant galleries. I'm going to leave the video at this. At least we still have that for future project, maybe one day, but that's going to be a long time before I get anywhere into starting to do this again. And by that I mean it's not going to happen in this premises, so that's going to be there. I could almost say that I could probably say I don't want it anymore, but that's not entirely 100% true. It's just something else was like a priority over that now. But I'm going to definitely keep it because I don't want to let go of something that's was really cool and made me happy. So if we build it and I'm happy with it, then it's a victory. But at this point in time, it doesn't make me happy. It makes me miserable because can't do nothing with it. And if I do something with it, I'm just going to ruin the body or something because I'm not proficient with those skills. So I'm looking into letting someone else with the skills actually touch that stuff that I can't do. That's the best way to go about this. Then I'm not wasting money and time with things that I can't do. I'm going to waste money and time with things I can do, including fixing my head gasket. So see you later, everyone. Michael Mechanical out.